Hey guys, it's Dad, and I'm here in the barn. I got a kitty on my lap right now. I should be working on those new quail cages, which we'll talk about in an upcoming video. We just got them. And so, just wanted to give you a short message going, happy birthday to me. And being turning 50, the big 50, right? You know, but the new 50 is the new 40 or whatever they call it, or new 30 or whatever. You're only as old as you feel, etc., so forth. Well, I don't know how old I feel. Mentally, sometimes I'm still a 12-year-old boy. Ask Mom. And then some days I feel like an ancient old man that ready to crawl into a grave somewhere. But I think, truthfully, life is about balance. Life is about, if I had any advice to give younger people right now, it would be, slow down the pace of your anxieties for the future. You know, I've always tried to be focused on the now, but of course the future's coming. You know it, but you don't have to be there yet. Like my mom's 85. I'm not 85, I'm 50. And I'm not to worry about being anything older than I am right now. So I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I'm taking my time and enjoying the kitties. And the other piece of advice I'd say is, listen, you never know what life's going to do. If you told me 5 years ago that I'd be sitting in a barn that we own, getting ready to work on new quail cages and feeding chickens and taking care of the goats and petting the barn cat, I would have really laughed at you. I really would have, because that's not where I had my path going. Yesterday I went out to pick up a coat from a really nice house along our lake, not far from us, probably a $6-7 million house. And they were selling it on Facebook, so I went and bought the coat. And I remember driving down through this area, and I remember, you know, this was my goal, to live in a big fancy house on a lake, because that's how you prove you made it. And it is to some people, it still is, and it's okay. But at the same time, I come back to my house, my little farm, my little kitties, my dogs. We made it in a different way. I never anticipated this way. But life doesn't always go the way you anticipate it. As long as you can find happiness, because happiness, here's a trick to everybody. Happiness is not a continual feeling. Contentedness can be a continuous feeling. Are you contented in life? Happiness is like petting this kitty. She jumps on my lap, and I pet her. And I do it as long as she lets me, or until I have to go do something. And that's a moment of happiness. Happiness comes in spurts of moments. It's not a continuous feeling. No, it's like sadness and fear and all these other emotions humans have. They're not continuous because they're not designed to be continuous. So the one thing I've learned in 50 years is contentedness is by far a better place to try to strive for than pure happiness all the time. You just can't be happy all the time. You can be contented most of the time. And, you know, look at that. I mean, look at those quails. When we get them in there, that's their life. They live there. They're contented to live there. They got food. They got water. This kitty absolutely loves being pet right now. They're content. Are they happy? I don't know. I don't know how to tell if they're happy. She's purring, that makes her happy. We say that makes her happy. So I went out to the store today and I bought a book. It was wrote in 1888. It's a 134-year-old book. So, and you know, it just had a couple of names in it that people have had it over the 134 years. And you know, it's interesting when you think about it. I'm 50. That book is way older than me, and it's going to be way here longer than me. And I've got some books written in the 1840s. And so, you know, because I'm kind of an old book junkie. And so I got them on shelves. But I just like to preserve those old books because, well, they're getting out of date and print. And the one thing I learned today, well, I didn't really learn it today. But one thing I would say today is remember what the greatest commandments that was given by Jesus. Remember, God exists. Whatever you do, try to remember God's around. God knows. You might have to answer for it someday, so think about it before you do it. And the other one is love others the way you want to be loved. Whew. That's a brutal, tough one. I will tell you that. Some days it's not easy to love yourself, and it makes it even harder to love other people. But if you try to remember kindness to yourself and to the world around you, I think you've got a good start. The world's on fire right now. It could explode, drop of a hat. People are taking sides, picking lines, standing by their beliefs. Human cycle all over again. My suggestion, try to find what we have in common more than what we have apart. And if we can do that, maybe our beliefs in between can find a way to balance themselves. Mark Twain said, every person knows something more than I do, and therefore I can learn from every person. A little bit of modernization to the wording there, but principally the same thing. Meaning that every person has value, and we can respect value. You may not be best friends, you may never agree, but you can respect each other as a person. So I guess that's my advice turning 50. I went down, gave the state my happy birthday money for my 2 cars, $222 for my little stickers that go on the back of my car. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Michigan. And so I hope you enjoy my money. And so I guess the thing is, take today in stride, because tomorrow, you never know what's going to happen. But the one thing I've learned is, unless something major happens, the sun's going to come up. Tomorrow is just another day. It happens to be my birthday, but it's just another day. And the day after that, and the day after that, until you run out of days. So enjoy the day you have. This is Dad signing off and saying I'll see you on the other side of 50.